Blizzard implementing a lot of fixes and some interesting stuff happening in China. Also, is there a chance we get another Demon Hunter class? Just maybe. Let's get ready to jump straight in. Oh, watching the news? No, you're watching me talk about something real important here. I'm a man of the people, and people know me by that term. How do I hold the energy that I do every day to help the people out? It's G Fuel, guys. Right now, I'm drinking Gohan's Blackberry Tea. Fantastic flavors, good stuff, zero sugar, full of energy, a good way to game and to play at your highest level the way I do every day. You can use code Samiccus at checkout to get your favorite G Fuel up to 30% off. Try it now. Blizzard China implies that the new Mythic level gear, once again, in the Turbo Boost event coming just around the corner, is going to be locked behind Mythic kills once again. That's right. If you remember, the first iteration of like Turbo Boost really was when we got the dinars back in a Dragonflight. And back then, you were able to get Myth-Track gear without ever having to kill Myth-Track bosses. That changed in the War Within, and people were hoping maybe they'd revert back to the old ways of doing things in Dragonflight this season. Well, it doesn't look like it. So there was a release of a blue post in China. Again, this is just China, not us, but probably the same is going to apply to us, stating that the rules will remain the same here as they were in the last iteration of Turbo Boost, where you will have to kill a Myth-Track boss or a Mythic level raid boss to get Myth-Track level gear with your dinars. So at the end of the day, if you're only killing heroic bosses, that only means you can get heroic level raid gear, but that's okay. I mean, you're still getting your best in slot, right, for a lot of these things. Would we have loved to see Myth-Track and just go fully overpowered at the end of an expansion? Of course we would have. That's what the end of an expansion's for, but the fun police are here, and they're not going to let that happen. So this system will still remain as it was in its last iteration. Mythic Plus score issues. You may log in today and find your Mythic Plus scores just a little bit higher. That's right. If you were running plus 12s, it turns out that, which dungeon was this? Your Myth-Track score wasn't being given enough points. So they fixed a bug where Xal'atath's Guile affix was giving 5 fewer points than expected. So if you were doing plus 12s or higher, today you might log in, and this fix is retroactive. You might log in and your score is actually higher than it previously was by a couple points, depending on how many plus 12s you had been running or higher. So there you go, a nice little fix there. Blizzard also fixed the salad bar. That's right, the salad bar is now fresher. It's got more toppings and everything else. Also, the Sal Hadar boss has been fixed. There was some kind of issue where when people would do a raid skip, for some reason, and they would kill the boss, he would respawn and you would have to kill him again to be able to get through him. So I don't know what this issue was. Yeah, more vinaigrette, exactly. I don't know what this issue was. We hadn't experienced it personally. The only issue we experienced previously was the skip locking us to the end of the raid. That no longer exists. So this is another little hotfix there. Yes, the respawn of Sal Hadar is no longer a thing. Finally, another fix coming in. It turns out Halls of Atonement isn't giving credit for your emissary quests, guys. This week's quest, if you don't remember, is completing, I think it was 4 mythic dungeons to be able to unlock your little emissary ward, get yourself another piece of gear. Turns out that if you were doing Halls of Atonement, it may have not counted towards your quest. That's right. Maybe you didn't pay attention. Maybe you didn't notice. But this one hasn't been counting. Blizzard is trying to fix it, but they said in the meantime, to get real credit, make sure you just run other dungeons. They released this in their Twitter post. Run something else. They're not sure. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to retroactively fix this or not. So don't wait for them to fix it. Don't depend on Blizzard to fix things sometimes. Go ahead, run another dungeon. Unfortunately, if you did run Halls of Atonement, it may have not counted towards your emissary quest. So make sure you get that done this week. And then finally, 30,000 characters have been punished in China. That's right, 30,000 characters getting the hammer. But China don't give no shits. If you guys have paid attention to what the recent actions in China, they don't care about like banning half their player base if they have to at some points. So it turns out there were a bunch of players, this is huge in China, paying for gold, paying for leveling boosts, playing for runs and all kinds of stuff. This is real money payments. So Blizzard and the Chinese arm of Blizzard doesn't like this shit. So they're going after them. They recently went after 30,008 characters in violation, leading to 9,441 suspensions due to these things. They're also going to retroactively take away their gear. They're going to pull back a bunch of other things, penalties and bans, a bunch of currencies being pulled back. This is some big crackdowns here. So, yeah, unlike anything we've ever seen around here, the Chinese really take this shit seriously. Also, I think the Chinese are just bigger violators of these rules. For some reason, paying for leveling and all that shit is so much bigger over there. It's a huge industry, but they are laying the hammer down. Now, this is an interesting one here that recently somebody found out while looking through some of the code here. Nightborne Demon Hunters are ready. That's right. Now, recently we got the whole thing, Void Elves are going to be able to be Demon Hunters, and people got all, tied up about it, because that means right now the Alliance has more Demon Hunter-enabled classes, or races, I should say, than the Horde. And the obvious check right for that is, well, why can't the Nightborne be Demon Hunters? Well, they can. They really can now, and there is proof, actually, of that inching towards a possibility. So if you don't know this already, the Nightborne currently sit in a Night Elf skeleton. The Nightborne are just a slight iteration on Night Elves. They currently have a lot of the same animations, and again, the way the gear equips to them and everything is very much Night Elf-esque. Well, not too long ago, all of the Void Hunter, all of the, I should say, Demon Hunter animations were added to the Nightborne. That's right, so basically just unlocked, copy-pasted. It's the same animations that you see in the Night Elves. You can see them right here in this video. Same animations that Night Elves have, but on the Nightborne. This wasn't always the case. When the War Within was launched, somebody tried to do this same test here, and the Nightborne were unable to complete any of these animations. Now, it looks like at some point, Blizzard added the animations to the Nightborne toolkit. Now, you could take that with how you want. I think personally that means this is like all but guaranteed at this point. The Nightborne are eventually going to be Demon Hunters. Imagine going to YouTube just to watch this guy read a Wowhead. They don't just come to watch me read. They come to watch Samiccus break down the news in a way that they've never seen before. I add a little bit of spin on it all and, give you a little bit of extra. And by the way, who the fuck wants to read when you could just have somebody do it for you? Why not? That's society today. So I think personally, this is going to actually be a thing. I definitely think that they added this in for a reason. I do think they want to even out the scales, make sure that both classes or factions have a chance to make the same amount of Demon Hunters, right? So there you go. Nightborne Demon Hunters, all but confirmed at this point. Finally, we also see something interesting in the art
to this realm
of Legion Remix. That's right. Space Wizard, thank you for the follow. Welcome to our Scourge. Legion Remix, if you looked at the key art here, you notice a dead Xavius back there in the corner. And what's going on with him? Well, there's a little sneaky Night Elf pulling the shoulders off of Xavius. Now, if you didn't play through Legion, maybe you don't know anything about these shoulders, but these shoulders were very much wanted by the community. These were a very rare drop. A lot of people wanted to get these things. It had an abysmal drop rate, and it was something a lot of people wanted. The first Satyr's shoulders, that's what Spalders, that's what they were called. Well, it turns out they're basically going to be free. That's right. 30,000 bronze will get you these things. It's going to be easy to grab, easy to get. People are going to everyone's going to have these things now. Don't forget, all these transmogs obviously carry over to retail once the characters get moved. So this will be a thing. This wasn't confirmed before, but now it is. You'll be able to get your nice Xavius shoulders with 30,000 of these. You also have to have the second currency, which you get for killing Xavius. So the horns of First Satyr from Pythagoras. One of the vendors residing in the Infinite Bazaar. I believe you get these from killing. Yeah, earn from defeating Xavius on normal or higher difficulty in the Emerald Dream. I think it's going to take more than one kill to get these. I'm not sure how many of these you get every time you kill Xavius, but you will get these, plus the 30,000 bronze will give you some of the most rare and sought-after shoulders in the game. No longer rare. Probably still sought after, though. Finally, the turkey is here, and we now know the name of the mount, boys. You guys remember we put out a little thing on one of the streams asking you guys what you think the mount should be called? Some people, I put out the, what was it, the Turk Strider. Some other people, I think they could have called it the Gravy Train. That kind of would have been a cool one, too. But we do have the names now and the official releases of these. So 11.2.5 coming in October with a new weight of items for the trading post, and we now know what they're going to be. So we have here the Quirky Turkey, the Prize Turkey, and the Murky Turkey. These are the three different colorways of your turkey mounts. You'll be able to get these for just 500 Trader's Tender, and a couple other mounts as well. Oh, the Highlands Gobbler is also another turkey variation here. So we got 4 different colorways of these. You're also going to be able to get yourself the Moose Boy mounts. A lot of actually really cool mounts coming out. So the War Gobbler would have been good. There's some good names they missed out on, honestly. I still say maybe, Gravy Train or Turk Strider would have been a good one. But really cool looking moose mounts. As I said, the turkey, I mean, yeah, these are great. Obviously on the Fell Strider mount skeleton here, but a really good looking mounts. We see the different colorways. We got the red one here, the black, the purple, and the nice kind of bluish tone here. So coming out with all the November holiday stuff, obviously. There's going to be the whole Thanksgiving event the harvest event, right? The great harvest event going on in WoW, so that'll be another thing going on. Bunch of pets to be had as well from the trading post, and a bunch of other cool items as usual. You see like a chef's apron, tabard. That one's actually pretty cool and unique. A bunch of, you just want to be a peasant in the game. Maybe you just want to RP as a peasant. You know, Moonguard, of course, everyone wants to be a peasant who gets taken advantage of by a bunch of scaly boys and furries in the middle of Goldshire Inn. So that kind of stuff will be happening there. We also see some shields, a bunch of other things. Yeah, all very food related, all very Thanksgiving, great harvest event related. So these are really cool items. I like this one, actually. The bread basket cape. This is really cool. So some nice stuff to be had here. Oh, these, obviously, too, the winter transmog. We saw these Datamining not too long ago. Really cool looking helm with the fur coming out. This is a highly detailed transmog for sure. And then some really good weapons. Especially me playing as a DK. I mean, man, look at this. Oh my god, I wish we could use a bow. This is a nice looking bow. Really cool looking stuff. And a bunch of winter-related items as well here with the little hats and all that. So, nice-looking trading post for sure. Probably one of the better ones we've seen in a while. And that is all in terms of news.